Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Wallinger, and I'm your host as well as train conductor, taking you on board on board European rail routes. So again, welcome aboard, everyone. And if you don't mind, share with me in that questions box below before we leave out of our virtual train station where you all are joining from today. I would greatly appreciate it. So again, if you don't mind in that questions box below, sharing with me where in the world you are joining from us today, I would greatly appreciate that. Great, we got some people from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Toronto, Canada. Great, keep them coming, folks. We got some people from Southern California as well. Wonderful, keep them coming. We love to know where you all are joining from us today. If you don't mind in that questions box below, just share with me where you all are joining from. I would greatly appreciate that. Great, Louisiana, thanks, Linda. Great, Liz, thanks, awesome. Woodbridge, thanks, Ted, great. Wonderful. So as you continue to pour into responses, folks, I just want to talk about what we'll be covering in today's webinar. Important things to know about by traveling by train are, we'll talk about popular destinations to consider for your next rail vacation. We'll even talk about how we can route your rail vacation from your hometown and how Railbookers is able to provide a safe environment during this time. So let's talk about very briefly, folks, our Yankee Leisure Group brands. To our left is Amtrak Vacations. Now, Amtrak Vacations is the official tour operator for Amtrak, where Amtrak moves over 3 million passengers each year on its rail system. And with Amtrak Vacations, not only are we celebrating Amtrak's 50th anniversary with some great promotions going on right now, we also take care of those lodges into those national parks or hotels and those popular city getaways. We take care of also sightseeing tours, rental cars, transfers, ferries, and more, and including those upgrades on board the train, such as the roomette, the bedroom, the family bedroom, and so much more. And with Amtrak Vacations, folks, we also do cross into international borders into Canada, which now we're super excited about that Canada is open to vaccinated Americans and people can start traveling back into Canada as well. And then to our right is Railbookers. Now, Railbookers is the brand we'll really be talking about today, and that's our international brand where we travel to destinations such as Canada and the Canadian Rockies, Europe, Asia, Africa, and beyond. But did you know, folks, we also take care of Alaska by rail with Railbookers? Maybe sometimes people don't know about that, but we do take care of Alaska with Railbookers. So if you're taking a cruise next year and you want to be able to see more of Alaska by rail, definitely think of us. Or maybe if you are, maybe you've done a cruise before in Alaska, but want to see more by land and visit places such as Denali, Fairbanks, Talkeetna, and so many great other places, we could take care of that for you by rail. We also take care of everything from pre or post cruise extensions to luxury rail journeys to even multi-country journeys. And here's a few of our brochures, folks, you can actually download online, which will go into those extensions or luxury rail journeys in more detail and show you what we have to offer with many of our products and services. And you can download those brochures and more at our website at www.railbookers.com. There you'll find everything from destinations to vacation types, how to start planning your rail vacation, and even my favorite page, the deals page, because everyone loves to get a great deal. So if you are looking to get a great special promotion, take a look at that page and also more on our website. So why do travelers such as yourselves love Railbookers? Well, number one, folks, we are the rail experts, right? We are the rail experts. We know these routes, the best times to ensure that you have the best vacation possible. We also can book all of our rail vacation packages as early as today to as far out as 2023. Either way, we have you covered. So if you're looking for a bucket list trip experience and you're starting to plan that for next year or 2023 in Europe, again, we can take care of that for you already. We also offer maximum flexibility, any destination, any date, for any length of time. Simply put it, if the train goes there, so do we. And we have the largest rail vacation selection to choose from than any other supplier in the world. From luxurious rail journeys to multi-country experiences to even extending your cruise. Or we can even create a customized rail itinerary. Probably didn't know about that, folks. We can customize a rail vacation, and we have it all. Again, from anyone looking to do a budget kind of trip to a more luxurious trip. And no rail trip is too complicated for us, because where it's confusing for most, it's very simple for us, because it goes back to that major point. We are the rail experts, and we're here to help. And we have a 24-hour support staff from all of our global offices around the globe here that are here to help you, starting to plan your dream vacation by rail, or even when you're traveling with us around the globe, there's always a support staff here to help you to make sure that all of your trip goes flawless. But what does Railbookers offer? So like, Tyler, that sounds great. I'm liking that you can help me with planning my trip and great deals and stuff. But what does Railbookers actually have to offer? Well, number one, folks, we do offer confirmed seat reservations on those high-speed trains, scenic trains, and luxury trains. Those folks are very important when you're traveling on a train. It's not like you just hop on board and just go. Sometimes with your seat, you actually have to have a reservation for that seat, and we take care of that for you. We also provide sightseeing tour activities into those popular destinations and attractions, such as the Eiffel Tower, or maybe the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or maybe the Louvre, or maybe Versailles, or maybe you want to go visit the Vatican. We could take care of those sightseeing tours, from independent to guided or even semi-guided tours. But now more than ever, folks, people are booking more private tours with us. People want that private tour with the guide and being able to go to places that are maybe not accessible on a regular tour. We also have a plethora of hotel options to choose from 3, 4, and 5-star options. And here's another thing great that we actually offer here at Railbookers, folks, is that we even now offer castle stays. Castle stays in Europe. So if you want to stay at a 12th or 13th century castle, maybe for you're celebrating your wife's or husband's anniversary, or maybe you want to, celebrate with a special birthday gift. This is a great way to be able to celebrate, hey, we got to do something unique and special on our journey. We also offer ferry transfers, excursions such as visiting Mount Pilatus, Jungfraujoch, which we'll talk a little about today, and even some overnight rail journeys. So instead of having to stop along the way and stay at a hotel, you can actually get to stay on a hotel on wheels and arrive at your destination the next morning, well refreshed and ready to go. And as I mentioned, folks, we do have a plethora of hotel options to choose from 3, 4, and 5-star options. But here's a beautiful thing. It doesn't have to be all the same star category on the trip. Maybe in one location you stay at a 3-star, but at the other location, maybe stay at a 4-star. Again, we can customize that in our rail vacation packages based upon what you're looking for and what will meet your budget. Now, folks, again, we talk about Europe, right? We just mentioned that we do a lot of European rail vacation destinations, but also international places around the globe. But Europe is really what we do a lot of. And Europe by Rail made easy through Railbookers is what we're known for. As you could see here, there's a lot of different colorful lines on this map, but I should also mention this map is easily downloadable on our website at www.railbookers.com. Here you'll be able to see, folks, that there's a lot of rail routes that operate throughout Europe, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. A lot of these rail routes don't even talk to one another, and they're different rail operators throughout the continent. Did you know, folks, there's actually 5 different ways that you can travel from London to Venice? Who knew? That's because we're the rail experts. We're here to help plan that rail vacation for you. If you're looking to go see a more scenic route, or maybe you want to get there quickly and arrive at your destination, whatever that may be, we're here to help and provide that for you. Even if you want to visit multiple different countries, like going from London to Paris and then Paris to Barcelona, there's 3 different rail routes, and some of them actually have different times or different ways you could travel. So again, we're here to help you with that. And folks, we can book all of our rail vacation packages, as I mentioned before, as early as today and as far as 2023. And that's because of our direct rail partnerships global wide. We work with many great rail operators such as Trenitalia, Deutsche Bahn, Via Rail, Eurostar, Norwegian Rail, Swiss Rail, and so much more. But what options are available with Railbookers, right? So I talked about how we can, what we offer at Railbookers, how far in advance we can book deals, such like that. But I'm gonna go more into the nitty gritty. So what kind of options are available for you? So let's just say you look at one of our packages, like our Rome, Florence, and Venice package, but you're like, Tyler, I want to see other destinations than just the Grand Three. Is that possible with Railbookers? Absolutely. So we can add on a destination, like maybe visiting Milan, or you want to visit Cinque Terre or the Amalfi Coast. We can certainly add on any destination to your package. Maybe you want to make this a round trip journey. So let's say you're flying into Geneva and you want to fly out of Geneva. Is that possible? Certainly. You want to book a trip with us in reverse. Maybe you find one of our packages, let's say our, you want to see a little bit of our classic Spain package. We want to flip it around in reverse or whatever that may be. We can definitely do that. Or maybe you want to upgrade to first class or business executive class, wherever that may be on board the train, whatever those higher upgrades. We could certainly upgrade those accommodations on board, as well as adding on additional sightseeing tours or changing those sightseeing tours to private tours. Last but not least, folks, I did want to talk about our maximum flexibility offer. So if for those of you who are not familiar, our maximum flexibility offer is a great promotion that we have right now, folks, that allows you to be able to book with confidence with either us or your travel advisor. So if you do need to change your travel dates or even cancel your rail vacation, you could do so without incurring any change or cancellation fees. And you can change your travel dates, you could change the duration of your vacation, or even the destination of your vacation with us. Again, this is a great value for yourselves, knowing, saying, hey, I know that this world constantly changes, the environment changes, rules changes, restrictions change. How can I know that my vacation is secure? How can I know that my investment is secure? Because again, your vacation is an investment, folks. With our maximum flexibility offer, you can be able to be rest assured that if you have to change anything, you can do so without incurring those change or cancellation fees. But how are rail operators maintain a safe environment during this time, Tyler? Well, number one, folks, they are requiring the facial coverings in the stations and on board the trains for both passengers and staff. They are requiring those facial coverings right now, folks, but hopefully that will change in the near future. They have brought back food on board the train, which I'm excited about, so that's one step closer to getting back to normalcy. They've increased the cleaning and sanitation protocols at the stations and on board the trains for both passengers and staff to make sure it's a clean environment for all. Also, they're going contactless for ticket control, folks. So they don't have to, you don't have to no longer have to fill it. You have to have your printed tickets already in hand. A lot of it's through digital now, through email or on an app. So it's easy, simplified, again, a more leisurely experience on board the train. All right, now we're going to talk about our Grand Venice, Florence, and Rome package, folks. By the way, I want to talk about this for just a minute. Anytime you see a grand title next to the to a destination or a package, that means it includes those upgrades on board the train. I just want to let you know that, folks. It includes the upgrade to first class. So I did want to mention that on board, and it also includes all of the sightseeing tours in those packages. So we'll start off at the beautiful city of Venezia, or Venice. Venice is truly one of my favorite cities in Italy. Venice really does embody that romantic style that people are looking forward to when they're traveling on their honeymoon, or maybe celebrating their anniversary, or maybe they just want to get away and see a little bit of Italy. Venice is situated right on a lagoon, so like on an island kind of feel. All you see is the water, you see the fish, you hear the birds, and you also see the historical sites such as the Doge's Palace, St. Mark's Basilica, or even just traveling on St. Mark's Square and getting a coffee or a Bellini, whatever that may be. Again, you're there to enjoy your time in Venezia. We also do provide, of course, transportation from the St. Marco airport over to Venezia, where you'll be staying at one of our hotels. One of my favorite hotels, I always tell people about, is the Bauer Palazzo. This is a 5-star luxury hotel, and it situates itself right on the Lagoon of Venice, around the Grand Canal, and also, again, very close by to all the major tourist attractions. After time exploring Venezia, maybe taking a nice little gondola tour and hearing some beautiful Italian music, you'll then travel over to the Santa Lucia train station to arrive on board the FRECCIAROSSA Trenitalia train. Little fun fact, folks, the FRECCIAROSSA means red arrow. So you can actually see this is the high-speed red arrow train. It got that right, that beautiful red markings to indicate that it's the FRECCIAROSSA train. And on board the FRECCIAROSSA, there's several different classes of services. There is standard class, which is a 2x2 seating configuration. So again, if you want to bring the package down in price to get more of a better value, you can go down to standard class. Standard class here is 2x2 seating configuration, space for luggage, and you also have access to the cafe car where you can purchase snacks and beverages on board the train. But many passengers, again, keep the upgrade and stay in business first class with us, which is 2x1 seating configuration here. More comfortable style seats with leather accommodations. You also get a complimentary beverage and snack on board, as well as still access to the cafe car. But a little fun fact, in the business first class accommodations, they do have a quiet area. So if you want to be able to take a nice little nap as you're traveling down to Firenze, you can certainly do that. But if you really want to go all out, if you're traveling for a special occasion, or maybe you just want to be able to take a trip of a lifetime, I would highly suggest upgrading to the executive class. This is the best class, in my personal opinion, folks, the executive class. It's literally 8 seats in the entire carriage, so literally ultimate first class accommodations. And they do fall down to a 45-degree angle. You get also a complimentary meal as well as beverage served to you at your seat. And you also have access to the lounges at many of the major train stations in Venice, Florence, Rome, and many others. And then before long, as you're arriving into the country, the Tuscan countryside, you'll then arrive into Florence. Florence is really the city of the Renaissance, and Florence has a lot to offer, not just the cobblestone architectural streets you see here, but you also get to see Santa Maria's church, very famous for the Duomo. You also get to be able to check out some of the great art galleries, such as the Accademia, the Uffizi Gallery, featuring artworks from Michelangelo and other wonderful artists during the Renaissance period. But other people don't figure out that there's also other great little historical sites to see, such as Dante's house and home, where he was inspired to write some of the most iconic novels. You also, of course, will see some of the other great architectural statues that are throughout Florence, very dedicated to the Renaissance art that was the very popular during the day. After time exploring Florence, you'll then head down further south to Rome on a FRECCIAROSSA train, and then you'll arrive into the beautiful city of Rome. Roma is the internal city. Rome also has everything from the Vatican to the Sistine Chapel. Of course, you also have St. Peter's Basilica. This is where they have, of course, their ceremonies at the Vatican, where the Pope will come out and also give a blessing or also a prayer to the congregation. But also, of course, you can be able to check out the Colosseum. Was built back in the early, late 80 AD, and it really is a wonderful architectural wonder of the world. You also can be able to see other great historical sites, such as the Pantheon. You also have the Roman Forum and the Spanish Steps, which you can also check out, which are free attractions while you're there. All right, folks, and again, that's our Grand Venice, Florence, and Rome packages, 7 days, starting at $1,249 per person, and includes all that you see here and more with this great rail vacation package. Again, it's 2 nights in Venice, 2 nights in Florence, 2 nights in Rome. But again, if you want to add on additional sightseeing or also be able to visit other destinations along the way, we can certainly add that to your package. Next destination on our list is going to be scenic Switzerland. So we'll actually be traveling north up to Switzerland from Italia. And this package is round trip from Zurich. So again, giving you an idea that we can make this a round trip journey in and out of Zurich. So you'll start your trip with us in Zurich, where you'll fly into the Zurich Flughafen, where you'll take literally 11-minute train ride into the city center. I would suggest, folks, since it is not included in this package, but I would suggest if you want to stay at for a night, even if it's a pre-night or post-night in Zurich, I would highly recommend it. So you can check out the Niederhof area, which is right over here. Oops, sorry. And also seeing the Old Town area on the left side. One of my favorite hotels to recommend to people is the Storken. This is a 5-star luxury property right here on the left-hand side, located right at the Linnet River here. And also, the lake itself is very clean, and you can actually go in it all year round if you really wanted to. And even the mayor himself has been well known to take a glass and sip the lake water. It's absolutely clean and pristine, one of the best in the world. So I would highly recommend that if you are if you're in Zurich. And then, of course, you'll take a high-speed train from Zurich to St. Moritz, where you'll get to be able to stay in the Engadine Alps and explore what this wonderful ski resort town has to offer. A little fun fact, folks, this, St. Moritz was actually featured in the Olympic Games not once, but twice, once in 1928 and the other time in 1948. And it was really, a beautiful Olympic Games setting. And there's also some great lodges and hotels to stay at. We offer everything from 3, 4, and 5-star options to choose from. You could be able to also take a day trip up to Pisnare and travel on the Corgovaglia Cog Railway train, or funicular, I should say. You also can be able to take a gondola up to Pisnare, so you could be able to see some of the iconic 48 mountain peaks that make up the Swiss Alps, as well as you could see the lake below. Lake St. Moritz is also a very popular place where passengers can be able to take a nice little boat cruise or maybe a yacht ride around the lake, or during the winter, they do have winter sports or even a carriage ride over the lake. While you're in St. Moritz, of course, one of our most popular attractions that people get to explore is the UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Bernina Express. They call it the Little Red in Switzerland, and this is literally like a toy train set come to life. The Bernina Express is not only as a classified UNESCO World Heritage Site, but it goes through UNESCO World Heritage Sites itself, such as the Albi Line, the Bernina Pass. It goes through architectural wonders such as the Bruzio Spiral Viaduct, the Landwasser Viaduct, and so many other sites to see. This is actually a picture taken of the Bruzio Spiral Viaduct, and I should tell you a little fun tip. These little windows here on each end of the carriage, they actually do roll down, so you can be able to get a great picture and video without the glare of the observation dome. On board the Bernina Express, there's 2 classes of service. There's standard class, as you can see here. It is 2x2 seating configuration, still very comfortable cloth seats. And you also have access to the cafe car where you can purchase snacks and beverages. And then first class. Now, first class, you get, of course, 2x1 seating configuration, extra space for your luggage, and a little more of those leather seats accommodation. That's the major difference, is the seat configuration on board. But you also do have access to the cafe car where you can purchase snacks and beverages. One other thing I should mention to you folks is when you're on board the Bernina Express and those high, as you're going through the Alps, they don't take debit or credit card payments. If you want to purchase a beverage or a snack or even a souvenir on board your trip, on board the Bernina, they only accept Swiss francs. So make sure you do bring some Swiss francs with you while you're traveling throughout Switzerland. And when you arrive into Tirano, Tirano is the borderline town of Switzerland and Italy. You'll have some time to get some Italian cuisine and even get to be able to check out the little town of Tirano, such as even visiting the Basilica. After time exploring Tirano, then you'll head back up on the Bernina Express for your second night stay in St. Moritz before your next journey on board, which is the Glacier Express the following morning. Now, the Glacier Express, folks, is one of the most iconic scenic train journeys in the world. The Glacier Express literally does offer and embodies luxury that a lot of tourists as well as Swiss people really do enjoy. So you'll travel from St. Moritz heading westbound to Zermatt, heading to the Matterhorn, right? Heading over to Zermatt, famous for some of those iconic places such as the Matterhorn. But the 7.5 hour journey really is scenic. You're going to go through over the Landwasser Viaduct. You'll get to be able to travel over through the Alpe d'Huez. You're going to go through the Rhine Gorge, which is Grand Canyon's Switzerland. You also go through some amazing 9th century abbeys. You'll even go through the highest pass of the journey, which is almost 3,000 meters above sea level, which is the Oberall Pass. And then you'll continue to climb down through into Zermatt. And make sure you have your picture cameras ready or even video ready, so that way, because when you arrive into the Zermatt House station, you can actually get a great video point of the Matterhorn before you arrive into Zermatt. This train journey originally was established to connect the 2 ski resort towns of St. Moritz and Zermatt back in the 1930s, and due to its popularity and demand, it has grown from regular Pullman carriages to the panoramic carriages we see today. And there's 3 classes on board the train. There is standard class, as you see here, which is the 2x2 seating configuration. Again, very comfortable. But you also have first class accommodations on board as well. So if you really want to be able to get a little bit more space for your legroom as well as space for luggage, I would highly suggest going for a little bit more, upgrading to first class. First class does offer a little bit more extra legroom, as you see here, and a little bit more of a guaranteed window seat. Now, I should mention, folks, between standard and first class, meals are not included. Meals are not included, but they are available for purchase, or with Railbookers, we can arrange those meal accommodations for you. So if you want to be able to have the meal of the day, we can arrange that for you on board, so you don't have to worry about trying to order it yourself. But I will say the meals on board are absolutely phenomenal. They are freshly cooked and prepared on board the train, so that way you can have a wonderful meal and enjoying the Swiss cuisine as you're on board. But if you really want to go all out, and I highly suggest this class because I was on it myself, this is the Excellence class. Excellence class is definitely the way to go. It's the best seat on the train and the best seat of the Swiss Alps, as I like to market it. The Excellence class is 1x1 seating configuration, so you're automatically guaranteed a window seat. You also get a 5-course cuisine with wine pairing, as you see here. And it's all freshly cooked and prepared by the Glacier Express chefs and staff on board. And you also have access to the Glacier bar, as you can see here, where you get complimentary non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages. You also have live commentary and a dedicated concierge that's there to serve you throughout your journey on board, and other great benefits you can also have access to on board the train in Excellence class. And before long, you arrive into the late afternoon, early evening into Zermatt, and be able to be greeted by the Matterhorn, which the Matterhorn in German literally is a perfect pyramid shape. And you'll then check into one of your hotels with us and stay with us in Zermatt for 2 nights. The next day, you'll get to travel on the GORNERGRAT, or they nickname it the Matterhorn Railway. This cog railway train does travel up to the top of the GORNERGRAT, and you get to be able to see the Hotel Kulm. You could see the surrounding glaciers, but you also get a 360-degree view of the Matterhorn. So this is a nice little day trip that's included in this package, and I would highly suggest taking a look at. And there's several stops along the way, so if you want to do some light hiking or even get some great picture points of the Matterhorn, you can certainly do that. One little helpful tip I would suggest is on the second to last stop before the top, there's a little stop right there. You can get off, head right down to the edge of the path, and there is a little I could say a little lake, I guess you can call it a little lake, that offers some stunning views reflecting of the Matterhorn on the lake. So you'll see some of those pictures on Google. That's the picture spot I'm talking about. So definitely check that out while you're there. And then after that, you'll head over to Montreux, where you can be able to stay right on Lake Geneva and be able to explore what Montreux has to offer, which is on the eastern side of the lake. Then you'll travel on board the Golden Pass line, which is another scenic train journey going from Montreux over to Lucerne. Now, the actual panorama train goes from Montreux to Schweisman. Then you take the Interlaken Lucerne Express over from Interlaken over from Schweisman over into Lucerne. I apologize. Now, I will mention this, folks, that they offer 2 classes of services on board. There is standard class, and they also have first class, which is what you'll see here. Many times you'll see people with a nice little cutlery board with maybe a bottle of wine, and you should be noticing that the Swiss love their wine. They call it Schweisswein, and it's very similar. If you get a Schweiss white wine, it's very similar to the taste of a mixture between a Chardonnay and a Riesling. Very, very good. So I'd highly suggest that for any wine connoisseurs out there. Another thing about the Golden Pass, they also offer the Belle Epoque option. So you see here's the panorama option, but they also offer a Belle Epoque option, which is the historic carriages from the Compagnie Internationale de Wagonlit, or nicknamed the Orient Express. So they have some Orient Express carriages that you can be able to travel on the Golden Pass line. One last helpful tip on the Golden Pass: if you are traveling on board the panorama option, if you really want to go out, I would highly suggest going to the VIP class, which is literally a 360-degree dome I guess you can call it, right at the front of the cab of the train, and you're sitting right below the engineer. So it's a really cool experience, and we could take care of that for you. All you gotta do is just give us a call, and we would our team can arrange that if available. And then you arrive into Lucerne, where you'll stay with us for 3 nights. You get to be able to explore the city of Lucerne and the lake itself. One of my favorite hotel properties to suggest is the Schweizerhof in Lucerne. That is another 4-star property located around the lake itself, and it's a beautiful, property to stay at with some modern American amenities. But while you're staying with us in Lucerne, you'll get to travel on board the Mount Pilatus Cog Railway, traveling up to the top of Mount Pilatus. Fun little tip about Mount Pilatus, folks, is that Mount Pilatus was originally named after the prefect Pontius Pilate. For those of you who studied biblical history, Pontius Pilate was the one that, who was, of course, told by the people to put Jesus Christ to death, and his remains were scattered on top of the mountain lake there, and the locals would call it apparently haunted. So a little fun little story about Mount Pilatus. A little tip about the Cog Railway train, folks, is that the train operates between May and November. It does depend on snow conditions, but it literally is the steepest Cog Railway train in the world, going up a total of 45% gradient. Americans trains go in between a 2 to 4% gradient, so you can imagine how steep this Cog Railway train really does get to go. And then on the next day, you'll then travel over to Interlaken from Lucerne. It's literally less than about an hour train ride to Interlaken, where you'll then get to explore the Jungfraujoch region. Jungfraujoch, you'll take on the Jungfraubahn up to the top, where you can be able to explore the Sphinx Observatory. You can check out the Ice Palace, do some of the winter activities that are up there at the top. You can even see the highest chocolate factory in the world, which is up there. And then before long after your time, you'll then head over to Zurich, which is where your journey will end with us there. Again, this is a round trip package from Zurich. It's our scenic Switzerland package, 9 days, 8 nights, starting at $2,299, and includes all that you see here and more with this great package. All right, so we're going to be moving from Switzerland and we're going down to Classic España. To Spain here, this is our Classic Spain package. Starts in Madrid and ends in Barcelona. Again, you'll start with the beautiful capital city of Madrid. You can check out the Royal Palace, which, by the way, folks, Spain does still actually have a monarchy. The king still lives there in Madrid, so worth checking out. But Madrid also has a lot of great museums. Funny enough, some of the world famous arts collections are at the Madrid galleries there. Everything from the 14th century to even the 20th century, such as even Pablo Picasso. Then you get to travel on the trains there, which are the RENFE trains heading over to Cordoba, I believe. Let me see. Oh no, sorry, my apologies. To Seville. You'll get to travel to Seville, and Seville is a very famous spot. Very focused on the oranges. The oranges are a great way for you can make marmalade while you're out there. But you also get to check out the Royal Alcazar. Which is their palace, as you could see here. And one of the things I recommend is take a nice little boat tour around the Alcazar. After time exploring Seville, you'll then head over to Cordoba, which is classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Actually, Spain has over 44 UNESCO World Heritage Sites alone in the entire country. By the way, folks, on board the RENFE trains, there's several different classes of services. There's standard class. There's also standard premium class, or they call it Turista Plus. So there's Turista, which is standard, Turista Plus, which is a standard premium class, and then there's first class, which they also have on board as well. You'll then head over to Granada, a very famous spot for some other great palaces that you can be able to explore, such as the Alhambra. The Alhambra Palace is what you'll find at Granada. We do offer that palace tour, and If you really want to go all out, I would suggest that we do provide a way for you to stay at the palace overnight. So if you did want to take a look at that, let us know in advance and we can arrange that for you. One little fun fact, actually, the Alhambra Palace was featured in the Game of Thrones. So any Game of Thrones fans out there, you'll probably know that some of it was actually featured in the show. You'll then head over to Malaga. Malaga is the birthplace and also for Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso was born in Malaga, and there is the famous Pablo Picasso Museum dedicated to all the works that he's created over the years of his life, which were dedicated by his family to really enhance that museum. And then after time exploring Malaga, you'll then head over to Barcelona. Barcelona there is a very beautiful cruise port city, very good spot for many Mediterranean cruises. We usually end there or begin there. But you also get to check out some of the other world-renowned architectural wonders that make up Barcelona while you're there. All right, folks, that's our classic Spain package. It is 15 days, starting at $3,449. It includes all that you see here and more with this great package. All right, folks, our last package of the day. This is our ultimate highlights of Europe. This starts in Amsterdam and ends in Rome. But again, if you want to flip this package in reverse, no problem. We can certainly do that for you. But again, you'll start off with us in the beautiful city of Amsterdam. This is a very famous river cruise port city for Rhine river cruises. But you also get to see that this is a very popular spot for not only history, but even nightlife. So if you want to check out the nightlife there, like the Red Lamp District. That's a spot where some people go out there to check out why in Amsterdam. After time exploring the beautiful city of Amsterdam, you'll then head over to Paris, where you'll get to see the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, the Champs-Élysées, and so many great other spots of interest that make Paris the city of lights. Then you'll get to travel on board the TGV LYRIA, which is a direct train heading from Paris over to Geneva. On board the TGV LYRIA train, folks, you'll see that there's actually several different classes of service. There's standard, standard premier, and then business premier. The difference between, of course, is that standard class is 2x2 seating configuration. Standard premier is 2x1 seating configuration, and business premier is still 2x1 seating configuration. However, of course, you do get a complimentary meal and beverage on board in business premier. And then you get to be able to arrive into the beautiful Swiss French style city of Geneva. Geneva, of course, you'll stay there with us for one night and maybe check out the beautiful city itself, see some of the architectural wonders that were built back during the Reformation period. You can also get to do a nice little lake cruise along the lake of Lake Geneva on the historic 19th century 19th century paddle boat steamer. Then you'll travel on board the Trenitalia train that heads through the Alps, going there through the Simplon Pass into Milan and heading onward over to Venezia. But on board the Trenitalia train, again, there's those three classes of services I mentioned to you before on board, so you can be able to take advantage of those accommodations. Then you arrive in the beautiful city of Venezia, and you'll stay with us there for 2 nights. So you can take a nice little gondola tour around Venice. Maybe you could check out the islands of Murano, Burano, and Torcello Islands. Those are popular spots for not only seafood, but also can be able to check out the lace and glass making, which is also there. Afterwards, you'll then travel on board the Trenitalia train heading further southbound over to Roma, where you'll stay with us there for 2 nights and get to be able to explore the eternal city has to offer, such as the Vatican. You can check out the Colosseum, even seeing some of the world-renowned museum and art galleries can be found in Rome. But this is a beautiful picture of the Spanish Steps. Right here at the top is a nice cathedral, so you can check inside some of the great cathedrals in Rome. That's what my wife and I did when we were out there, seeing some of the great churches that are out there, really just world-renowned. But you also can check out, look at the Pantheon, this, the Trevi Fountain. You can get to go out to the, see some of the other architectural wonderful sites that is in Rome, such as the Roman Forum. So folks, that is our ultimate highlights of Europe. It's 11 days starting at $2,749. It includes all that you see here in this package and more with this great rail journey. Now, folks, I did want to let you know very briefly, we do offer luxury rail journeys. So I did want to let you know, what does a luxury rail journey, include if you want to do something like the Venice Simplon Orient Express or the Royal Scotsman, to name a few. We do offer iconic and historical journeys on board, and they do usually offer incredible scenery along the way. So many of these luxury rail routes do offer some scenic journeys. They even include impeccable service on board, where you'll get dedicated service from the stewards or the staff with white glove service on board. You also get world-class cuisine prepared by private chefs, and there's a variety of onboard accommodations to choose from when it comes to your sleeping arrangements. It's like a luxury hotel on wheels, I should say. And then last but not least, you get private excursions and additional activities that can be arranged when you're traveling on board some of these luxury train journeys. All right, folks, very briefly, I want to mention about our upcoming webinars. We have our upcoming webinars on Tuesday, October 12th. You have our extended your river and ocean cruise with Railbookers. We have also on Tuesday, October 19th, we have our luxury and iconic rail series. We'll talk about the Venice Simplon Orient Express and the Royal Scotsman. Do not miss out on that, because that is one that it really does feature luxury rail trains, and that's really one of my favorite topics to talk about. So, and I've traveled a few of these luxury trains, so definitely don't miss out on that. My last question for all of you today is, what destinations are you considering for your next rail vacation? If you don't mind sharing me down below in that questions box, what destinations are you considering and when are you looking to travel? I would greatly appreciate that. Love to know where you're looking to travel for either this year, next year, or even as far as 2023. If it's traveling domestically here in the United States to our popular US national parks, we could take care of that with Amtrak Vacations. Or maybe you want to travel internationally to destinations such as Canada or maybe Europe or beyond. We love to help out with that. All right, we got some Switzerland for 2022. Thank you so much. Italy for 2022. Great. Canada and the Canadian Rockies in 23. Wonderful, wonderful. So if you don't mind continuing to pour in your responses, folks, I'd love to know what destinations you're considering for your next rail vacation. I would greatly appreciate that. I didn't want to take this time to answer any questions you may have. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type them out below. And also, please feel free to give us a call today at 1-888-829-3040 to start getting or planning your dream vacation by rail, or maybe you want to get a free quote. We would love to help you out with that. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can also check out our website, www.railbookers.com. Last but not least, if you have a travel advisor you use, definitely contact your local travel advisor there to help you plan your next rail vacation. We're here to help. All right, let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna go to my questions box. So Judy Brodowski asked, what is your cancellation policy? That's a great question, Judy. So we actually have our maximum flexibility offer. That is part of our, again, cancellation policy. There are more details on that. And those sorry, I should say, our cancellation policy is much more in depth that I can go over today's webinar. So if you really want more details on the cancellation policy, I would highly suggest you giving us a call today at 1-888-829-3040. And they can go over more details with our travel consultants on the more in depth about the cancellation policy and what that looks like, because it does differ based on the rail vacation package you choose from with us. So you're very welcome. All right, if you have any other questions, folks, please feel free to type them out at this time. I love to answer any questions you may have. If it's about any of the rail routes we talked about today, or maybe it's about a vacation package or destination that maybe wasn't featured on today's webinar, I would love to answer any questions you may have. But I did want to let you know, folks, this is the end of the line of our virtual train journey. So if you have no any other questions, that's okay. I hope all of you have a wonderful and train-tastic day as well as week, and I hope to see some of you on the rails in the near future. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.